गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Last week we were looking at the 16th and the 18th 17th verse where tam abravit priya. We are in Kathopanishad chapter 1 part 1 verse number 18. We have to start just recapping. Tam abravit priyamano mahatma varam tavehadya dadami bhuyah tavaiva namna bhavidayam agnihi शृङ्कां चे माम् अनेकरूपां गृहाण. In the 16th verse he says that uh, that Lord Death, who was delighted, who was very happy, who was to that Lord Death, Nachiketa, he spoke to Nachiketa. What did he say? I grant this additional boon, and what is that? Uh, the fire sacrifice shall be named after you, and take this multi-formed necklace, multi-designed necklace, multi-flowered necklace, whichever way you whichever way you want to take it. I'm telling you, he is not saying that take this garland of various forms which represents the prakriti. And then in the 17th verse we saw Trinachiketas Tribhiretya Sandhim Trikarma Kruttarati Janma Mrityu Brahma Jajnam Deva Medium Viditva Nichayye Mam Shanti Matyantameti. Very important verse, the 17th verse, and it says that whoever performs this Trinachiketa sacrifice three times, and has been united with the three, and uh, and has performed the three kinds of duties, uh, overcomes birth and death. When a person has understood this bright omniscient fire born, and what is the source of the fire? Brahman is the source of fire, and realized him, then he attains everlasting peace. And this was this is the instruction that is being given. And last week I was telling you these that he has, the one who has performed the three or united with the three, that is Matru Pitru Guru, or it is Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik, or it is Jeev Jagat Ishwar, or it is waking, dreaming, deep sleep, or it is Avidya Kam Karma, or it is Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti, or it is gross body, subtle body, causal body. So the three appears in varied. Three is the expression of Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. Nature, what is nature? Nature is fickle. It's continuously changing. See? And nature has two ends. One is when it is unmanifest, and the second is when it is manifest. For example, in deep sleep the nature is unmanifest. In waking and dream it is manifest. See, as body it is gross manifest, as mind it is subtle manifest, as causal it is unmanifest. And this way, he who has uh, performed, meaning contemplated, meaning invoked this fire, thinking about the world, desiring the world, living at the relational level, living at to you versus me, living at competition level, living at comparison level, living at survival level. How do I survive? Where do I get the next meal from? Where will the money come from? This knowledge is not for those. But again, we cannot deny these are the needs of the people. These are the needs of the people. And in the second boon, Nachiket has asked such a worthy boon. It was not just for himself, it was for the benefit of the humanity. You want to be rich, you want to be successful, you want to be happy. Shantim atyantameti. You want to get that transcendental peace even while living in this world. It is possible, my friend. And that is possible when you invoke this fire. See? So do the sadhana, do the hard work, make your mind focused. Just listening, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti, it's not enough. You have to work towards it. Just listening, gross body, subtle body, causal body is not enough. You have to make efforts to go beyond the gross body. We have to make the efforts to go beyond the subtle body. We have to make efforts to go beyond the causal body and not go to sleep. See? So when we, and this is the growth, this is the expansion, this is the recognition that this myriad experience, this diverse experience of this creation, which I have explained in the threesomes, all different threesomes. If you pursue that, you will never find an answer. But if your attention is on that who is expressing through the threesome, and all these three, waking, dream, deep sleep, gross body, subtle body, causal body, all these threes, they are part and parcel existing in their source. When this is recognized, then we have fulfilled. Then there is nothing in this creation that we cannot achieve. Whether you want health, you will get it. Whether you want wealth, you will get it. Like one girl is talking to me nowadays. Went to their house the other day. She wants an ideal husband. Now, my misery is I can't laugh in front of her. There is no species called ideal husband. But she is stuck. I want an ideal husband. These are, and she showed me the list. Arey Baba, till now nobody has found one. You see? But this is the youth. So when we focus on the divine, when we focus on the, now that's what the next Brahma Jajnam Deva medium viditva Nichayye Mam Shantim Atyantamayati. When we recognize that the that these that this fire, whether it is the outside fire in the havan, whether it is the inner fire in our guts, whether it is the inner fire of contemplation and focus, that this fire is born of the infinite, born of the Supreme Person, then and then alone, when this dawns on the seeker, on the practitioner, then shantim apnoti, shantim atyantameti, then he attains transcendental peace, then he doesn't get disturbed by anything. He attains everlasting peace. Then this also we saw, and now he will tell you what. Here we also said in the Bhashya, our Jnaneshwar, our in Shankar Bhashya, Adi Shankaracharya said that when we invoke this fire, when we when we are in one with this, and we attain to that, when we recognize it is that universal Brahman, that is the Virat Purush, Vairaja. Here he said, what did he say? Let me read it. He said, Vairajam padam jnana karma samuchayanu anushthanena prapnoti iti arthaha. Vairajam padam. Vairaj, word Vairaj is coming from Virat. Virat padam. So such a person, he attains to the total form. Whenever we are so hell-bent, wrong word to use, hell-bent, but we are so addicted to putting efforts, achieving something in life, the ultimate, within this world of names and forms, within this cosmos, within the nature, the maximum we can reach is Virat Purush. Remember, nature was on one end, the lower end is the individual, at the higher end is the Virat Purush. Virat means the cosmic being, the cosmic form, which was presented to Arjuna in the 11th chapter. That's the maximum we can reach. Some people call him Brahmaji, some people call him Virat Purush, cosmic being, and the entire birth, creation, maintenance, destruction, everything is going on. Past, present, future is going on in that cosmic person, cosmic being. It's in him. His body is this. There is no boundary to it. See? And once you have merged into that cosmic being by invocation of this fire, because we are addicted to doing something. So when we have faith in karma, when we have faith in that I have to do something, then the maximum we can reach is this Virat Purush, this cosmic being. And what is the vision of cosmic being? The vision of cosmic being is the vision of the ocean. I am in all the waves are in me. I am before the wave, during the wave, and after the wave. These waves are not separate from me, they all exist in me. See? So the ocean knows the biography, the blueprint of every wave. And how does the ocean know the blueprint of every wave? Without thinking. See the fun? And what is the disposition? That all waves are in me. What are you wanting in life? I want wealth, I want money, I want my desires to be fulfilled, I want to travel, I want to go for a space flight. I want to go to Antarctic flight. I want to go to India on a pilgrimage. I want to go to the various higher planes of existences where there is no hunger, no thirst, no old age, no death. Wow, we talked about that in one of the verses before. How do you get it? I don't want to be stuck in the various planes of consciousnesses. I want to attain the ultimate within this gross, within this, within this cosmos, within this nature, within this creation. And once I become, can ocean desire anything? Ocean is complete. So when you become, as a seeker, you invoke this fire and take it to its natural conclusion, which is the word is God realization. We are not saying self realization, we are saying God realization. That God is this Virat. For someone it is Shiva, for someone it is Vishnu, someone it is Narayana, someone it is Ganesha, for someone it is Jesus, someone it is Allah, whoever. But maximum you can reach is God realization through your efforts. You can come to the threshold of it. And once you are one, or once you recognize the scope of God, once you understand the functioning of God, and that is not possible by you maintaining a separate identity. You have to merge, only then you will be able to know. I have to taste the sugar in order to know the taste of the sugar. What is sweetness? I can't stay separate from it and come to know. So same way, I cannot come to know the cosmic being by remaining apart. So as long as I was remaining apart, all I could do was put efforts, invoke the fire, make my mind single pointed, and the fire destroys all the impurities within the mind, impurities being the desires. But one desire is maintained, and that desire is to merge into the cosmic being. And once you merge into the cosmic being, you are at one with him, then he is fulfilled all the time. He is never in lack. He doesn't desire anything because he is everything. That becomes your disposition also. You are also, then you don't desire anything in this world. In other words, all your desires get fulfilled in one go. See the beauty. In one go, all your desires are fulfilled. And this is how the Mahatmas live, the Siddha Mahatmas live. So what you are seeing is the body, but where are they? They are one with the total person, the cosmic person. So in this manner, we saw this 17th verse also. Vairajam padam jnana karma samuchaya anushtanena. Everything that if you want success in life, if we want success in anything, even including finding a husband, including buying a house or earning a certain amount of wealth or health or whatever, you have to live your life, not we will see, what is that, I am not well, sometimes I'll take medicine, sometimes I will not take, sometimes I will exercise, sometimes I will not exercise. That job is looking good, but I don't know if it is for me. One job comes, second job comes, third job comes, fourth job comes. Frankly, that person is not wanting to work because he is happy with the dole. Anushtanena means with commitment. Like you are on fire. That the day will not pass if I have not had a satsang. I will not eat till I have had a satsang. I will not sleep till I have not listened to one teacher. I will not go to sleep till I have finished my japa and meditation. And it is not once in a while, no, on a daily basis. When you live your life on a war footing, that is anushtanena, that is with commitment, firm resolution, that come what may, I am not going to deviate from it. That is anushtanena. Then, and then alone, these three fires get invoked. No, it is not for the lazy fellow. It is not for the procrastinating fellow. It is not for the sleepy fellow. It is not for the Prarambashur who begins everything with great zeal, but after few steps, push, all air goes away. Goes back to being lazy. Then again someone comes and motivates him, again he gets pumped up. Push, the moment the motivation is gone. No. We are such a person is self-motivated. Why? He wants to be one with the cosmic person. He wants that transcendental peace. And that transcendental peace is only possible when one is free of all desires. To be free of all desires, you have to recognize that there is nothing in this world that can ever be called yours. You cannot gain anything. Why we cannot gain anything? Because it is already yours. This recognition has to happen. This can be possible only when we come to realize the cosmic person, Virajam Padam. See, for that you choose any god, doesn't matter. But very important point. Okay, we'll repeat that again when it comes next time. Now in the 18th verse, idanim agni vachana, what is that? Vijnana chayana phalam upasamharati prakaranam cha. So he says idanim, now in this case, agnim, fire, vijnanam, knowledge, technique, methodology, chayanam, invocation, and phalam is fruit, and upasamharati means the summary, we are winding up the topic of the second boon now, of the fire. We are summing up the point that what Nachiket asked in the second boon, and therefore idanim agni vijnana chayanam phalam upasamharati prakaranam cha. Now knowledge of fire, its invocations, fruit, and the explanation is all summed up where in the 18th verse. So we come to the 18th verse. Where are we here? Yeah. Hey, gone, vanished. Where is it gone? Here it is. 18th verse. It says, you can repeat, Trinachiketasत्रयमेतद्विदित्वा Trinachiketasत्रयमेतद्विदित्वा य एवं विद्वांश्चिनुते नाचिकेतम् य एवं विद्वांश्चिनुते नाचिकेतम् समृत्युपाशान् पुरतः प्रणोद्य समृत्युपाशान् पुरतः प्रणोद्य शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके. Together, त्रिणाचिकेतस्त्रयमेतद्विदित्वा य एवं विद्वांश्चिनुते नाचिकेतम् समृत्युपाशान् पुरतः प्रणोद्य शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके. He says, ya evam, he who, a wise person, having learned the trio of the three tri Nachiket fire, tri Nachiketa trayam etad viditva, the wise one who knows, viditva knows the tri Nachiket fire. And what is the tri? As we have explained, but in the text proper it was told the bricks, the what type of bricks and what number of bricks, etc. In other words, whatever technology you apply, whatever technique you apply for example, for body disidentification, for subtle body disidentification and causal body disidentification, it will not just go away because you wish. You have to employ certain exercises. You have to be focused on that which is beyond the three. You don't know what is that which is beyond the three. So you catch that fire at the gross level, then at the subtle level, then at the causal level. Then that way you can go beyond the three. Because fire will, if you catch the fire at the gross level, it will burn away the gross desires. Then you catch the fire within you, within the mind, the subtle level, it will burn away all the desires in the mind. And when you continue to catch be one with the fire, then the ignorance, which is the causal state, that will not disturb you. That is also destroyed. So this is just one example. You can employ it in anything. Excuse me. So what brick, what type, what numbers, similarly, what technique, what type of technique, how many times do I do pranayam, how many times do I do japa, how many times do I do meditation, what type of meditation, should I stand on my head, should I stand on my toes, should I stand on one leg, one hand, should I not eat, should I do fasting, etc., etc. Because this is all at the prakriti level. Prakriti means nature. So different people approach, and so many paths are there. The Kundalini path is there, the Kriya Yoga path is there, the Aghoris is there, the Ashtanga Yoga is there, the Bhakti Marg is there, the Gyan Marg is there. All of them can take you there. So for that, each one has its own specification, methodologies, techniques, which we need to practice. And the one who has learned the trio of the Nachiket fire and does its invocation, which I just said, what does he say? Saha mrityu pashan puratah pranodya shokatiga modate swargaloke. Such a person, he, before the news of death comes, he is able to drive away the misery and delights in heaven. Because for whom is the misery? Remember, in this creation, the micro is the individual, macro is the Virat. Virat has got no birth and death. He is relatively immortal. What are you? Oh, only living to survive. Always scared of spider, of snake, of cockroach, as if you're going to die. So here he says, so if you want to go become free of the phobia of cockroach and lizard and snake and invoke the fire. Drives away misery. All misery comes from duality. Once you have come to the cosmic being who is inclusive of everything, once the wave has realized it is the ocean, makes an attempt to look at the whole variety from the point of view of the ocean. There and then, all comparison, competition, judgment, biasness, survival, likes, dislikes, desire, everything will vanish. Birth, death, everything is becomes zilch, zero. It's a worthy goal to achieve. This only in a human being can achieve. Nobody else can do it. Animals cannot do it because they can't make choices. Gods can't do it, means the demigods cannot do it because they are too busy doing their jobs. They are afraid to give up their position. Sun will not say, I will come to the earth and realize. He will continue doing his job. Moon will not say, let me come and take birth as a human being, I want to realize. No, he will continue doing his job. Only human beings. And you are, I think you are all human beings. So what is animals cannot? When a man lives like an animal, he cannot realize this. When the man lives like a god, he cannot realize it. When a man lives like a man, aspiring to that infinite being, even at the totality level, then alone it is possible. Because what are gods doing? Gods are busy drinking, dancing. See? When wealth is there, automatically desires erupt and there is no end to them because you got the fulusa to spend and satisfy your desires. Who thinks of God at that time? So remain humble, remain a human being, remain an ordinary person. Don't become an animalistic man. We don't want to become a god, in a demigod. We want to be a man. And who is man? Which man? Who practices discrimination, who is able to invoke this Trinachiketa, who wants to find a solution to this continuous world of success, failure, likes, dislikes, waking, sleep. We want to find a solution to all these opposites which come to, sometimes they trouble us, sometimes they give us happiness, sometimes there is sorrow. Nothing lasts for too long. So how do is this how I am going to live all my life? Just shunting from joy to sorrow, sorrow to joy, joy to sorrow. And people also say, no, don't worry, don't laugh too much, it will not last long. When you cry, oh, don't cry, you cry, no problem. After some time, joy will come to you because nothing is permanent. They are so true. So what is permanent? We have to seek that, and that we will seek, that will become available to us when we invoke this Trinachiketa fire. See how systematically he is telling. And this is an 8-year-old boy. Now here our Bhashya goes. He says, where are we? त्रिनाचिकेतः त्रयं यथा उक्तं या इष्टका यावतीर्वा यथा वा इति एतद् विदित्वा अवगत्य यः च एवं आत्मरूपेण अग्निं विद्वांस चिनुते. In the Bhashya, Shankar Bhashya, Adi Shankaracharya ji is saying, he who Yatha, although addressed about the trio of the Nachiketa fire, that is the bricks, how many and what type, etc., to collect it. Thus, he who having learned this in this way comprehends the fire as his own self. Here, what does he say? Atma Rupena Agnim Vidwan Chinute. The wise men consider that fire to be Atma Rupena, that fire to be none other than the self. Whatever your definition of self. If your definition of self that I have to do it, then you will invoke the fire, you do the havan. If you are at I have to do it, I have to focus, I have to put efforts, then you will do Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti. You will contemplate, you will meditate. Right now we have a feeling that we have to do something. So here that it is taken in the general that the wise believe, the wise know that this Trinachiketa fire is none other than the own self. See? And the wise man invokes it. Why? It is worthy of invocation. You invoked today at 6 o'clock, 5:30, you must have invoked, you must have thought, oh, today is Wednesday, 7:30, I have to come, I have to get to the class. And you planned in such a way, if you have to cook, you must have cooked already. If you have to eat, you must have eaten already. All that is free for that, and so that you are free at 7:30 for this satsang, because you have given importance to it. That's why you are able to do all the other tasks so that you are free at this moment. That requires focus, that requires commitment, that requires dedication, that requires invoking, even if you are tired, invoking the focus, the energy, invoking the energy to do whatever is required to be done so that we are available here. So we invoke this energy. Oh man, I'm so tired, I can't remember. Oh, I'm so exhausted today. No, but I have to I have to do my chanting, I have to do my meditation. I have to read my 5 verses of Bhagavad Gita. I have to listen to this lecture today. No excuse is mine. You have to do it. And in spite of all those pulls and pushes, you come here. This is what makes us grow. Commitment, invocation of a purpose, invocation of such thoughts which purify us. That's why we do satsang on a daily basis. Not for how many people are listening or not listening. It is so that our mind is continuously exposed to such transcendental thoughts. The wise man invokes, what does he invoke? Nivartayati नाचिकेतम अग्निम क्रतुम सह मृत्यु पाशान अधर्म अज्ञान राग द्वेष आदि लक्षणान पुरतः अग्रतः पूर्वम एव शरीरपातात् इति अर्थः. He says the wise man invokes, that is, accomplishes the Nachiketa fire. So invocation or accomplishment. How do you accomplish sleep? By invoking the thought of sleep. Then when you are so focused with this thought of sleep, whether you are aware or not, but all your actions are being governed by that thought of sleep. Your actions cannot be to get involved in the world. The thought of sleep will not allow you to get involved in the world. So slowly, slowly it's unwinding, 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 and eventually you fall into the lap of sleep. Similarly, when we invoke this fire, just as we invoke sleep, when we invoke this Nachiketa fire, he accomplishes, meaning he becomes one with the fire. And what is the result? The the words used here were adharma, ajnana, raga, dvesha adi lakshanan puratah agratha पूर्वमेव शरीरपातात् इति अर्थः. The adharma, unrighteousness, agyan, ignorance, raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes, etc. Adi means etc. Lakshana, what do you call? Before the death comes, he is able to go beyond these, what we just said. Meaning the same as before. What is that before? Before the death of the body. Ignorance is for the one who considers himself to be body. Unrighteousness is for the one who considers himself to be body and doesn't think of the higher. Likes and dislikes are for the one who is identified with the body. Death is for the one who is identified with the body. Fear is for the one who is identified with the body. And when we invoke the fire, when we invoke this Trinachiketa fire, one becomes free of unrighteousness, ignorance, likes, dislikes, etc. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, anger, greed, jealousy, envy, hypocrisy, arrogance, pride. In other words, as long as you consider you to be body, there is sense of duality. When we invoke this fire, this duality will start receding. When you invoke the sleep, the world with all its variety starts receding from your mind, as if the low tide has happened, is taking place in your mind. All recedes away. Nothing remains. No water remains. Meaning no desire remains for the world. Then and then alone. In other words, the thought of sleep is neutralizing the thoughts of the multitude thoughts of the world. Same way when we invoke the fire, fire is what? Fire is that which consumes everything. So when we invoke this fire, meaning focus, everything gets burnt away, including body identification. Some of you who have been meditating must have experienced that, where you can't feel your body. You don't get afraid, it is a good. Don't get afraid of that. I can't move my hand, I can't move my leg. Don't worry. It will come back slowly, slowly. So in this way, then he says, प्रणोद्य अपहाय शोकातिगः मानसैः दुःखैः वर्जितः इति एतद् मोदते स्वर्गलोके वैराजे विराडात्म स्वरूप प्रतिपत्त्या. Apahaya removes, destroys. Pranodya drives, directs. Then this is a continuation from the previous verse, and directs or drives away the miseries, that is, destroys the miseries. Meaning, meaning is he is without sorrow, shokatigaha, dukkaihi, so free of miseries, without the sorrows produced by the mind. Then, thus, then he says, so he abandons or relinquishes all the sorrows and the miseries. Iti eta, thus this modate vairaje viradatma. So modate means pleasure, and vairaje belonging to Brahman. And what does it mean? Viradatma, the supreme self. Virat, the universal self, the cosmic self, the total self. Creation is at totality at one end and individuality at the other. Our goal is, in the second boon, our goal is to get to the total. This is the boon which Nachiket has asked, keeping in view the entire humanity. And in this way, thus in heavens belonging to Brahman, having attained the Virat Roop, he is happy. He is happy. Modate, he enjoys, he is happy. Modate Swargaloke. This is the highest heaven. We are not talking about the smaller heavens. This is the ultimate heaven. There is nothing after that. At the worldly level, at the creation level, at the Trigunatmika Prakriti level, at the relative level, this is the maximum one can go. Viradatma. Viradatma is the cosmic person. Viradatma in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita was the Purushottama. He is the Uttama Purusha, the supreme person. Just as the totality of ocean is present in an individual wave, similarly, this cosmic being, this Virat Purusha, this universal person is alone functioning through each one of us. We have disregarded him and we have given attention to others, to duality, to the other people, and to this body, that I am only this body. But what does ocean say? I am in all are in me, and yet I am transcendental to all of them. Come to this glorious state, to this great God realization, where all your desires are satisfied in toto. This is how Adi Shankaracharya says that this is how the wise people contemplate. See these things we cannot understand. If you just read the verse, I don't know what understanding we would have gotten out of it. But when Adi Shankaracharya gives explanation on each word of that verse, suddenly the hidden meaning starts becoming available to us.
Swamiji?
Oh.
So can we say this as like a Jivan Mukta, the Virat, this state, if a living realized...
Yeah, you can say Jivan Mukta, no problem. You can say Jivan Mukta.
Thank you.
Because who is Jivan Mukta?
Living realized.
Living realized. What is realization? Free of ignorance, free of likes and dislikes, free of all desires, free of all miseries. That is what it is, no?
Yes.
Who has all these problems? All this what we saw? The one who considers himself to be the body has all these problems. Because identification of body is itself an expression of ignorance.
Yeah.
Duality itself is an expression of ignorance, isn't it?
Yes, Swami.
Ah. This problem is not there in Virat Purush.
Yeah.
In Virat Purush, in the universal self or universal person, past, present, and future are parallel. Everything is happening parallelly, and yet nothing is happening. Like one light is becoming like the sky is blue, but actually nothing is happening. There, you go there, you will not find blue color. This is called phenomena. What we are living is not phenomena. We are living, we are this body. I am so, man, I have to realize before, I have to do this, I have to do that. Till this feeling is there, seek something higher.
Thank you, Swami.
Ah, then the 19th verse, coming to 19th. एष ते अग्निर्नचिकेतः स्वर्ग्यो एष ते अग्निर्नचिकेतः स्वर्ग्यो यमवृणीथा द्वितीयेन वरेण यमवृणीथा द्वितीयेन वरेण एतमग्निं तवैव प्रवक्ष्यन्ति जनासः एतमग्निं तवैव प्रवक्ष्यन्ति जनासः तृतीयं वरं नचिकेतो वृणीष्व तृतीयं वरं नचिकेतो वृणीष्व टुगेदर एष ते अग्निर्नचिकेतः स्वर्ग्यो यमवृणीथा द्वितीयेन वरेण एतमग्निं तवैव प्रवक्ष्यन्ति जनासः तृतीयं वरं नचिकेतो वृणीष्व. He says, O Nachiket, Nachiketah, O Nachiket, by second boon what you desired, that fire, that is the Nachiketa fire, the originally called the Vaishwanara Agni, the Vaishwanara fire, the cosmic fire, the fire of the heavens, which I renamed it to be Nachiketa fire. I have already told you, narrated you the entire technology of it, which you repeated to me. People will call this fire as yours, O Nachiket. So, etam agnim tava eva pravakshanti janasaha. People will call that fire by your name from now onwards. Why will people call? Because the Lord Death is declaring it so. When Lord Death says it is time for you to die, you have got no choice. You have to go. So if he says that this fire is going to be called as Nachiketa fire, dare anyone oppose him? Nobody can oppose him. Because he is Satya Sankalpa. He is realized master. And he knows. And therefore with that knowledge, when he says something, he is the most righteous. That's why he became the Lord of Death. Because they saw that he will not practice partiality, he will not practice favoritism. Nay, I love this fellow. I think I will allow him to live for a few more days. No, I hate that fellow. Let me finish this fellow now. No, not like that. He is the righteousness incarnate is Yamraj, the Lord of Death. Another name for him is Dharmaraj, the king of righteousness. If we contemplate on death continuously, on the principle of death, see how quickly your evolution will take place. But we don't do it. We think of What's next meal? We think of what presents to buy, which trip to plan now that the borders are opening. We don't contemplate on death. Contemplate 3 days. Leave everything. Lock yourself in a room and keep thinking of death, like Nachiket. You will get this knowledge. Guaranteed. Trutiyam varam nachiketa vrinishva. The Lord Death says, "O Nachiket, now you ask the third boon, my friend." एषते तुभ्यम अग्निः वरः हे नचिकेतः स्वर्गः स्वर्गसाधन यम अग्निं वरम अवृणीथाः प्रार्थितवान् असि द्वितीयेन वरेण सह अग्निः वरः दत्तः इति उक्तः उपसंहारः ते you एष desire wish, O Nachiketa, by the second boon, that fire boon you asked, that fire sacrifice you asked, that fire boon you desired, which is the means to the ultimate heaven, that is the cosmic person, to the ultimate heaven, I have given it to you. In this manner, having told it, iti uktah upasamharaha, in this manner, having told it, that is, the knowledge of fire is summed up in this 19th verse. किंच तम अग्निम तव एव नामना प्रवक्षन्ति जनासः जना इति एतत्. He says, no, kincha, not only that, tam, this agnim fire, tava of yours. So he says, not only that, people will declare, call this fire by your name. This is the bhashya we are reading. Eshaha varaha dattaha maya chaturthaha tushtena. Happy by you, this fourth boon was given by me to you. What was the fourth boon? If you remember, he gave 3 boons for the 3 nights and 3 days that Nachiketa waited outside the doors of the death. Then, when he narrated the fire sacrifice and its technology to Nachiket, Nachiketa repeated it back verbatim. Lord of Death, Yamraj, was so happy with the performance of this student that he couldn't stop, but a 4th boon was issued from his mouth there and then, and that was to rename this heavenly fire by the name, with the name Nachiketa fire. So he says, happy by you, this 4th boon was given by me. Trutiyam varam Nachiketa vrineshva. O Nachiketa, you ask the 3rd boon. Tasmin hi adatta rinavan aham iti abhiprayah. Because I am indebted without giving it. This is the purpose of requesting you for the 3rd boon. So, Nachiketa, having got the fire sacrifice, see how our Lord of Death is thinking. He is thinking, I have given him the fire sacrifice. Now Nachiketa is contemplating, he will attain and he will be satisfied. And then if he is satisfied and is at peace and is attained tranquility, then he will not ask for the 3rd boon. That means for lives after lives, I will be indebted forever to this young boy for keeping him outside for 3 days and 3 nights. So he says, no, 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 no. Before you can go into that, you ask me the third boon now. He reminds Nachiket of the third boon because he doesn't want to remain indebted to a Brahmana boy. We must never remain in debt. Always clear your debts. Be a giver, never be a taker. Then abundance flows. That's why Lord Death is abundant. Nothing is lacking in him. Give, give, give. Not give because someone has done something for you. That is not. You give because you are full of it. You have the capacity, your mind is full of abundance. When will it be full of abundance? When it comes, invokes this Nachiketa fire, then abundance will be there. If you consider yourself to be the body, then there will be no abundance. Then should I give $10? What are they going to do if I give Salvation Army $10? Anyway, I'll give $5 or $1 is also enough. Give with an open heart, not with a miserly heart. We always calculate before giving. If he was going to calculate Lord Death, he wouldn't have given him changed the name to of fire to Nachiket fire. It was spontaneous. So in this manner, in the 19th verse, till the 19th verse, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th is a conclusion, but in this second boon, let's put it that way. In the second boon, the because we are talking about creation, we are talking about the universal self or the universal form or the cosmic form or the total self or the God. He can be gained as long as you are within the creation, as a part of the creation, seeking something which is inclusive of total creation. This technology, on one hand, the invocation was called as Nachiketa fire. Again, it was threesome. So that means first step, second step, third step. Kundalini 7 steps. Kriya Yoga 7 steps. Ashtanga Yoga 8 steps. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam 3 steps. Mother as Guru, Father as Guru, Guru as Guru 3 steps. This is called in technical language Krama Mukti, step by step realization. Step by step realization. You are realized at this moment, but you don't know it, because our attention is on the creation. So within this creation, what is a worthy goal where I am free of everything, free of all afflictions, free of all miseries, free of all ignorance? If you go to Indralok, the small heaven, Bhur Bhuva Swaha. If you go to Swaha, ignorance is still there. Yes, hunger, thirst is not there, but ignorance is still there. Ignorance is there up till you reach the last moment, until you be one with the cosmic being, the total being, till then ignorance will be there to trouble you. Once you are one with him, then no trouble after that, thereafter. And this has to be practiced. When you invoke the fire, whatever step you have taken, now you are listening to me here, this was the first step. Second step will be what? Reflect upon it, reinstate the purpose, the goal of your life, be inspired towards it, make a commitment to work towards it, invoke the Lord to help you to help your mind to work towards it. In spite of all distractions, even at this moment, He will help you, but you have to keep surrendering to Him. You have to keep talking about Him. You have to keep invoking the practice on a regular basis. Like if I don't go to a gym on a regular basis, I will not build the muscles. My goal is I want muscles. But just by thinking I'm not going to build muscles. I'm not going to fit because I feel I want to be fit. I have to do hard yaka. I have to go to work. I have to do the walks. I have to climb the mountains. I have to go to the gym. I have to lift the weights. Same way, not when you feel like, with a commitment, with a fire inside. Like when two people fall in love, they are on fire. They want to be in the embrace of the other at any given moment. Sleepless nights, continuously chatting, looking at their photograph, looking at their wanting to hear their voice, wanting to speak to them, dreaming of them, thinking of the coming union. Same thing with the infinite, which will be even more fulfilling. If that has not happened, we are still lost in this world. This thirst, this longing from inside for that infinite, that has to be invoked, and that gets invoked through this three Nachiketa fire. For that fire to do its work, you have to keep it burning. It's not, if I want to cook something on the gas, on, off, on, off, on, off, it will the food will never get cooked. It has to be on continuously. If it is on sim, it will take long time to. It has to be high. But high enough, knowing fully well that it should not burn. So invoke this fire. How more examples I can give you? So this is the path. The second boon is the path of gradual liberation. Krama Mukti, step by step liberation. From the individual to the total, to the universal, to the cosmic. Individual self to the cosmic self. From individual being to the universal being. This is the conclusion of the this is the conclusion of the second boon. Third कह रहा हूँ. Now we begin with the third boon, second boon. Now we come to the third boon. From this third boon, now you must be wondering, till now, wow, we have started the Upanishad, Kathopanishad. Now 19 verses are over. Actually speaking, all this was only a filler to bring your mind. Now the proper Upanishad begins from the 20th verse. Because what is Upanishad? Upanishad is that, Upanishad is Vedanta. Vedanta is that which only talks about Brahma Vidya. In the first boon, was there Brahma Vidya? He asked for the boon for the happiness of his father and family. That is not Brahma Vidya. That is not the ultimate knowledge. In the second boon, he is talking about God realization, the cosmic realization. But still, he is in the relative. That is not Brahma Vidya. That is not the ultimate knowledge. Now, see the 8-year-old, what type of question he will ask, that itself. But before we get into that verse itself, where are we? The Sambandha Bhashya says, Sambandha Bhashya says that एतावत् हि अतिक्रांतेन विधि प्रतिषेध अर्थेन मंत्र ब्राह्मणेन अवगन्तव्यं यत् वरद्वय सूचितं वस्तु. So एतावत्, he says, because so far as एतावत्, so far as he, because अतिक्रांतेन means going beyond. अतिक्रांतेन, क्रांतेन तृतीया विभक्ति. अतिक्रांत, अतिक्रांतेन, by going beyond, meaning what is going beyond? By surpassing, by exceeding. So because so far as by going beyond actions and negations. What are negations? Do's and don'ts are the negations. Meaning, a Brahmin who only chants mantras, Brahmin, a wise person, a cultured person, a seeker who only chants mantras, he has knowledge of only that which is pointed out by these two boons. See, where are the father? Where is the father? Where is the family? In the creation, isn't it? Where is the heaven? It is also in the creation, as a part of the creation. Where are the 7 heavens? Also part of the creation. Where is the ultimate heaven? The Virat Purusha, the cosmic being, the cosmic self, he is also part of the creation. He is the creation. And it is being pointed out. You are seeking that. You are seeking parents because you are indebted to the parents. They have given you this body so that we can use this body for realization, self-realization. So the first indebtedness was towards the parents. We must make sure that they are happy, their mind is at peace, tranquil. And who is a seeker? Who is only selfish, 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 selfish. Me, 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 me. I did this, I did that, I have this power, I did that, I can heal, I can walk on water, I can walk on fire, I can give lecture, I took sannyas, I went to ashram, I studied scriptures, blah, 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 blah. I. Is that a seeker? Seeker is not such a person. Seeker is a person, a spiritual seeker is a person who is seeking the ultimate. His heart must necessarily expand. His heart must expand to include everyone. That is a sadhu purusha. That is a sannyasi. On one hand, he has given up the world, but at the same time, Where has he given up in the world? In his mind. But when he is out there in the world, the whole world is in me, is mine, is not separate to me. At least he begins with this premise so that one day he realizes it. What is realization? The second boon. So spiritual seeker is he. So first job, keep the family happy. Second job, Nachiketa did not ask anything only for himself in the second boon. First one was for himself, but that was also for the happiness of his father as a duty. Second one is as again a duty. The second boon, yes, we may feel that he asked for himself, but in that communication, the whole world got benefited. Everyone can get to that Nachiket Agni, invoke that Nachiket Agni. It is not only this person or only that person, only chosen ones. No. Anyone can invoke it. That is the freedom given in our scriptures. Automatically integration will happen, synchronization will happen, and melting of personality will take place. Where there is integration, their ego cannot express. It melts away. Invocation of Nachiketa fire melts our ego. So in the second boon, Nachiketa asked for the universal fire, keeping in mind that all the people in the world are always aspiring for something. They want to be free of miseries, they want to be free of sorrows, they want to be free of old age and death, they want to be free of hunger and thirst. Whole day they are toiling only for producing one plate of food every day, every meal on the dining table. Keeping that in mind, he asked the second boon. See? So because so far as by going beyond actions and negations, that is do's and don'ts, meaning a Brahmin who only chants mantras, he has knowledge of or he tries for the knowledge of what? Of only that which is pointed out by the two boons. You ask, don't tell me, you think in your own mind. When you go to the church, when you go to the temple, when you do the puja, why you are doing it? Are you doing it for God, or are you doing it for let my son find a good wife? Once the wife is there, let me become a grandmother or grandfather. When that is also fulfilled, now let me become second time a grandmother or grandfather. There is no end to it. There is no end to it. We are always wanting. God is the provider because He has the power. You have no power, but you have got one power. And what is that? You can think about Him. So you think about Him, and by thinking about Him, you know that He is all powerful. So you say, please fulfill this, please fulfill that, please fulfill this, please fulfill that. But nobody ever thinks that I am remaining in the loop of wanting. Why not I become one with the one who is able to solve all my problems? And once I become one with Him, merge into Him, that cosmic form, then there will be no more desires. Then there will be no more wanting. But this must click. So wherever actions are involved, wherever yoga, kriya yoga, kundalini yoga, ashtanga yoga, vaikhari madhyama pashyanti, wherever action is involved, here he says, Shankaracharya ji says, wherever action is involved, wherever do's and don'ts are there, that don't do this, don't do that, do any puja, go to any sacrifice, go to any ceremony, don't touch it with this hand, don't do that with this, don't do this with this. In every religion it is like that. Don't face east and pray west only. There's a whole sequence when the priest comes and gives you the body of Christ and the blood of Christ. A whole sequence is there. That has to be followed. Same thing in our pujas also. Why can't I invoke Ganesha after the thing? No, it has to be in the beginning. Then only the puja will begin. Why can't I? I don't want to do any sankalpa. You don't want to do any sankalpa. What type of puja you are doing? But if you do a puja without a sankalpa, great. Without wanting anything for you. I am taking the sankalpa. Lord, I am invoking you for yourself. Story over. He will get confused. Arey, another Nachiket, come here. See? So wherever there is action, maximum we can achieve. Or wherever there is action, wherever there is karma, there will be do's and don'ts. And as long as one is caught up in them or is practicing them, the maximum with that, if he follows, he can reach is Virad Swarup, Virad Atma, Vairajam Padam. The Virat Purush. Who is Virat Purush? All inclusive. Nothing is outside it. The entire is in him, as him, he alone is. All the variety of past, present, future, space, air, fire, water, earth, waking, dream, deep sleep, etc., etc., etc. All that is only imagined in that total person. Only imagined. See, why did I say imagine? See, when I just said before, what is the ocean? Ocean will say, I am in all the waves are in me. Ocean will not say that. I am taking you next level now. That was for initial introduction. Next level is, ocean can never think. Because he is already. If anything that is, do you think of the fecal matter which is inside your body? No. Do you think of the cells which are in your body? No. Do you keep saying I am again and again to prove that you are? No. Do you say I am the right hand also, I am right, today I am the left hand, I am the right hand, I am the nose, I am the eye? No, because you are already that. So why will you say all the limbs are inclusive of me, I am pervading all the limbs? Do you say that? If you start saying that, people will call you stupid. You have got qualified for a mental asylum. So the next level of understanding is, ocean will never say all this is in me or I am in all of them. It is his natural state. Then where are the waves in the ocean? They are only an imagination. They are only a phenomena on the ocean. Aha. See, this is the glory of Upanishads. This is the glory of our scriptures. This is the glory of the saints and sages. who who left the world set by themselves contemplating on the deeper truths of how can they serve the whole humanity. And make them fulfilled. You practice this, you will be fulfilled once and for all, ever and ever in your life. But do we have the guts to pursue it? Do we have the courage to pursue it? Do we have the commitment and the regularity to invoke the Nachiketa fire and keep the goal in our mind? Or immediately, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. How, if I do this, who will survive? If I do this, who will put food on the table? If I do this, who will earn the money? If I do this, who will pay the mortgage? If I do this, there is no end to it. We are experts at self-sabotage. We are experts at self-sabotage. You find the time. You find the time. In spite of all that is going on in your life, you find the time to engage with this Trinachiketa Agni, keeping in view of the universal fire. Then, for such a person, nothing is impossible in this creation. So here when he says that, so with the karma, with the mantras, with the do's and don'ts, whenever we practice something, we are trying to gain the knowledge, or we get the knowledge of only that. Both is very important. We are trying to get the knowledge, or we get the knowledge of only that which is pointed out by the two boons of Nachiketa. Either you will get by do's and don'ts, by actions and by praying to God, the fulfillment of your family, keeping the mind of the family happy, or you will get God realization. My God, I thought Upanishad is complete. No. After God realization is self-realization. That which is beyond nature, that which is beyond Prakriti, that which is beyond the micro and the macro, the individual and the total, what is transcendental to it? That is the theme of the third boon. Na atma tattva vishaya yatha atma vijnanam. The subject of self, meaning knowledge of self, is not the object of these two boons. The first two boons, the object of contemplation of these first two boons of Nachiketa was not the subject of the self, was not seeking the knowledge of the self. Virad Roop, the cosmic person, is not the self. It is also, the phenomena appears at has two polarities, the individual phenomena and the total phenomena. The total phenomena is called the cosmic person, the individual phenomena is called the individual person. Just listen. All this, for some of you it may be something new that you are hearing. Just allow it to go in. Let it percolate. And it will click by itself. The creation functions at two levels, individual and total. This is Prakriti. This is matter. Matter is phenomena. And the first two boons were dealing with the phenomena. time हो गया? Oh, it's already time. We'll continue with this Sambandha Bhashya in our next class. This is we are on the 19th verse, 20th verse, beginning of 20th verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a moment.